are the same. So, who's the monster?
After the events of Hawkeye, Maya returns home to escape Wilson Fisk. While there, she concocts a plan of vengeance against her adoptive uncle, and she reconnects with friends and family from her past in Marvel Studios' latest TV miniseries, Echo. A more grounded and grittier take on the Marvel Cinematic Universe that harkens back to the Netflix TV show Daredevil, but one that fails to match that show and many other Marvel shows' sense of purpose and quality drama. Reprising her role as Maya is Alaqua Cox, a deaf and amputee Native American actress. Alaqua is commendable in the lead role, portraying Maya as a character filled with past anger and frustration. When it comes to the fighting and the action scenes, she is ferocious, fast and violent. However, Maya is often the least interesting character in her own TV show, an unfortunate thing. Her motivations for vengeance are understandable, but the plan she puts in place is overly simplistic and straightforward. The same can be said for the overarching narrative of this 5-episode miniseries. There are moments of depth and of character exploration throughout this show, but it fails to amount to much, if anything, that feels essential, important or worthwhile. At the end of the show, very little is changed, except how Maya's friends and family view her. It feels like a very incremental character arc, and it results in a disappointing finale. The primary antagonist of the show is Wilson Fisk, aka Kingpin. Once again played magnificently by Vincent D'Onofrio, Wilson is portrayed as suitably imposing, intimidating, and at times unhinged. He is a threat both physically and mentally to everyone else in the show, but what makes him stand out as a character and as a villain is the sympathetic side to him, particularly in relation to his backstory. Pulling from the Daredevil TV show and making that show and its sister shows canonical to the MCU, Kingpin's backstory provides him with enough sympathy that it makes him likeable and engaging, and whenever he is on screen, he steals the show. Outside these main characters, the show is mostly made up of a who's who of notable Native American actors and actresses. In many ways, it's a reunion for the cast of Reservation Dogs. Sadly, except for Graham Greene and Tantu Cardinal, very few of these supporting characters have much to say or do throughout the 5 episodes. Graham and Tantu portray Maya's estranged grandparents, whose connection has drifted over the years since a tragic loss in the family. They provide the show with a lot of its heart and soul, and are sometimes the most interesting dramatic moments of the entire series. The likes of Devery Jacobs are criminally underutilized though. Devery plays Bonnie, Maya's estranged cousin. Considering her rise in star power and her skills as an actress, she is limited to being a damsel in distress for much of her screen time. It's disappointing that her live-action role in a Marvel property is essentially squandered here, although she is also a voice actor in Marvel's What If TV show, playing a far more significant character. At 5 episodes, each of which is approximately 45 minutes long, Echo is a brisk and mostly enjoyable watch, but it's also a touch messy in places. The first episode consists of archive footage ripped from the Hawkeye TV show, mixed in with newly recorded footage. The editing is choppy, with pacing issues and a rushed sense of urgency throughout. It's clear that the episode was shot by different directors and crews, with completely different goals and intents. The 3 episodes that follow fare much better, with a greater sense of purpose and more unique style and pace. One of the biggest features of this show is its more mature rating and intent. Echo is a return to more adult Marvel storytelling, and that means some light nudity, bloody, violent action scenes, and more adult themes in its story and characters. It works well, making Echo stand out from recent Marvel properties. However, the action scenes are poorly framed and shot, with almost every single action sequence featuring glaring collision issues. It rarely ever looks like fists or feet are connecting with their opponents, making many of the action scenes lacking an impact and excitement. Outside of this major issue though, the action is inventive and well choreographed. It's just let down big time by the direction and camera work. The final episode of the series is also its shortest by quite a margin. It ends abruptly, wrapping up Maya's small character arc in what seems like a very convenient way. What makes the final episode so poor is that there's no sense of achievement, no thwarting of the bad guys, and no escalation of events or excitement leading up to it. It's very anticlimactic and unfulfilling, and it left me wondering what the point of it was. Echo is not the worst thing to come out of Marvel Studios. It's quite enjoyable at times thanks to its character drama and its compelling villain. What lets it down is its lack of necessity, its editing, camera framing, and its avoidance to dive into characters and events more. As Marvel Studios' first foray into more adult storytelling, it's a lackluster attempt, one that fails to live up to the shows it was clearly inspired by.